Okay, guys, that one was getting long, so I stopped it. Now we're going to do round 5. We'll just go ahead and do round 5 together. Okay, so every time you start a new round, let's turn our work, flip it over. All right, every time you start a round, we're going to start with a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we're going to go into the 1, 2. Did I do 5? Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Into the third chain from your hook. We're going to place our first double crochet into the back bumps of the chain. 1, 1, back bump for the next one for 2. And we only need 3 double crochets because we're going to rotate our work, and we're going to join it to the block from the round below right there. Okay, so rotate your work, find the top 2 chain space of the block from the previous round, slip stitch that together, chain 2. All right, now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to add my stitch marker to the first block of this round 5. I'm going to just stick it in there on the top chain there, top 2 chain space. Okay, now because we're on the sides, we don't need to add additional blocks here. We're only adding it in the corners. So for that reason, into that 2 chain space we just joined to, we're going to do 3 double crochets for our block. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're on the sides. We don't need to add an additional block, so simply slip stitch to that top 2 chain space of that next block that it meets up next to. Chain 2, and again 3 double crochets. Oops. 3. We're going to rotate, join to that block there. See how it just fits? Slip stitch to the top 2 chain space of that block that it's next to. Chain 2. Now, here you can see we still don't need to add an additional block because once we put one here, it will match up with this one. So for that reason, we're going to do another 3 double crochets into this 2 chain space. 1, 2, and 3. Join that block you just did to the next block. Now we're in a corner, so remember in the corners is where we're adding an additional block. So for that reason, on the first block of the corner, we're going to be needing to do 4 double crochets. So we're going to chain 2 into that chain 2 space that we slip stitched into. We're going to work 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to be adding that additional block into that 4th double crochet. So let's chain 2 and then work around that 4th double crochet with 3 double crochets for our additional block. 1, 2, and 3. Now we only needed 3 because this one is going to match up next to that block from the row below. So we're going to slip stitch to the 2 chain space, chain 2 so we can get started for our next block. So here is the first corner of this round 5. Okay, so now we're going to be adding a block here. So we just need to do 3 double crochets because we're going to match up perfectly here. So we are on the sides, so you just need to do the 3 double crochets. Only in the corners, that first block of the corner is where you're going to do 4. Join to that next block, top 2 chain space, chain 2 into that chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, and the third one. Because this one we're on the side and we don't need an additional one, that's why we did 3. We're just going to join it to the top 2 chain space of that next block there beside it. Chain 2 to get started with our next block. Now, see, we only need 1 block here still, because once we do a block here, it's right next to this one and we'll join to the top. So once again, we only need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, trying to get up off that desk so it doesn't, that stitch marker doesn't clink so much. 3. Join to the top of that block beside it with a slip stitch. Now we are in the corner. Okay, we're in the second corner. Because of that reason, and you'll be able to tell you're in a corner because you're going to see a big flat space here, okay? There's nothing to attach to. So for that reason, that's where we're adding that additional block. So let's do our chain 2. Let's rotate our work a bit. Into this chain 2 space, we need 4 double crochets because this is where we're adding an additional block. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we're always rotating our work as we work this stitch pattern. Let's do our chain 2. Now we're going to be adding an additional block here. That's why we did the 4 double crochets, because we need to add one here. That will be the additional one of each round in the corners. So for that reason, we're going to go around that 4th double crochet and work 3 double crochets, because now we're back to the sides of the square. 2, 3. Now I didn't mention this blanket or this pattern does work up into a square, so keep that in mind. All right, we're going to just rotate, join to the top of this 2 chain space of that block next to it, slip stitch, chain 2. Because we only need a single block here, we're going to be working our block into this 2 chain space. It will match up next to this one. Therefore, we only need 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once again, do our chain 2. We only need 3 double crochets because it's going to go here. We're on the sides, so we're not adding additional on the sides, only on the corners. So 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch to the top of that block next to it. Chain 2. 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. 1 that we slip stitched into, 2, 3. Oops. Same thing, join to the top of that next block, slip stitch, chain 2 to get started with your double crochets. We're going to do our last block here, so we only need last block of the side. So 1, 2, and 3 double crochets is what we're going to be placing here. See how that fits to the top of that block, that next block there? Okay, that's going to bring us to our 3rd corner. So we're going to slip stitch to the block next to it right there into that top 2 chain space, slip stitch. Okay, now that brings us to a corner again. So this will be our 3rd corner. So we have 1 corner, 3 blocks, a corner, and we're going to have 3 blocks, and this is going to be a corner with 2 blocks. So for the corner, when you get to it, we're going to start that first block with 4 double crochets. So chain 2, work 4 double crochets, 2, 3, and 4. Because we need to add an additional block here, because this isn't going to join to this top of this. That's why we add an additional one in the corners. So for this block, we're going to go around that 4th double crochet. We're going to chain 2 first. I'm gonna fold my work under to have get a better grip on it. Into that 4th double crochet, we're gonna work that additional block with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now we have our 3rd corner. We're gonna rotate our work, join it, that additional block to the first block of the side of the square with a slip stitch. All right, so I'm gonna stop here. I feel like I've gone pretty long on this tutorial, the 5 parts of it. So anyway, just I hope this helps you to figure out how to do corner to corner in the round. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I will be glad to try to help you out if I can. So like I said, I'm new to this stitch pattern. It's really a lot of fun. Once you get it down, you've got it. So from here on out, it is the exact same for the entire blanket. You're just adding a block into the corners, and each time you do a round, there'll be an additional block on the sides, and that's because we're adding one in the corners. So, okay, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're able to learn how to do this beautiful corner to corner in the round. Thanks for watching.